Hello Stampers, this is Yana Smakula for My Favorite Things. Welcome back for another video tutorial. Today I'm creating with a pretty poinsettia stamp set and making a Christmas wreath card. The pretty poinsettia set is filled with beautiful organic imagery. The way the poinsettias and leaves are illustrated is just stunning and look very natural. My vision for this card was very simple. I wanted to stamp several images in black ink onto white cardstock and color them using my Copic markers. I used my Mini Misty stamping tool and stamped them onto white cardstock panel. I have 3 poinsettias, all the various sizes and shapes included in this set, as well as the berry branch stamped twice and the 2 kinds of the leafy branches stamped twice as well. I picked a simple color combo for this card, a traditional red and green with lots of white. To color the poinsettias, I used R89, the darkest color, R39, another one that is very dark, R27, my medium red, and R24, my lightest red. I color each section of the image starting from dark and moving to the light color marker. I also came back in with the darkest R89 and added additional shading where it made sense to help the leaves stand out more. I didn't worry about preserving the centers of the poinsettias. I colored over them as I knew I would be adding gems in the end. As for the greenery, here I picked 2 color combos. First, YG63 as the light pale sage color, and I flicked it onto the leaves, making sure not to color each leaf completely, but rather leaving the tip and the sides of the leaf white, creating some natural looking highlights. I next used G94 and flicked it in the similar way, but kept the flicks shorter, focusing more on the base of the leaf and not going too much further in. I also used R24 to color the berries red. The other green color combo I used, and this one is a little bit more bright, but not too bright, not like the green grass bright. I started with a YG03, which is a rather bright green color. I love to use this color when I color green grass or spraying leaves or anything where I want to have a lot of fresh, vibrant greenery. But I colored over it with a YG63 marker. This toned down the brightness of the YG03, yet it altered the YG63 a little bit as well, making the YG63 a bit more cheerful green. And I also shaded it with a YG67 color. I used these colors to color the rest of my stamped images, and next I cut them out using the coordinating dies. Now, if you look at the poinsettia images, you might think that they lack the green leaves, and you would be absolutely right. You could color some of the bottom leaves green, keeping the top leaves red, to give this image a more organic look. I cut a panel of white cardstock to 4 by 5¼ inches and stamped one of the sentiments included in this stamp set in the bottom center. I want to place the wreath above the sentiment. I first used the die cuts to plan the image placement on the panel. I sort of pre-planned my wreath. I then shaped the branches slightly to give them additional dimension, as I prefer things to be quite dimensional on my cards. I have a very hard time making flat one-layer cards, so I always tend to add a lot of foam adhesive and a lot of dimension to my projects. With the placement done, I used foam adhesive squares and foam mounted each of these images in place. And then I used glue to adhere the berry branches, but I only added glue to the bottom part of the stem, so berries themselves are floating on the card, adding to the dimension of this project. You can do a lot of different card layouts with the images from this stamp set. You can create your own unique backgrounds filled with the beautiful poinsettias. You can use these poinsettias to embellish some other elements that you might have on your card. You can add this imagery to just the opposite corners of the panel and save the room in the center for a large sentiment. This is a very beautiful and very versatile stamp set, perfect for the holidays. Now let's go back to those green leaves. It would be fun to color the poinsettias using various shades of red, and also to throw in some green. Here, I used the G94 marker and later the G99 markers to color some of the leaves in the background. When you add green over red, it is not going to turn green, although, of course, I wish it would. But it does turn a beautiful, dark, deep, rich brown, and it adds so much beauty and so much color variation to these poinsettias. I did the same thing for the second poinsettia on this card, and I just love this result. I found mounted this panel onto A2 top folding card base. I added some red dots around the wreath to help it appear fuller, and I embellished the poinsettias with gold gems to add sparkle. I do have 2 cards for you to compare, one with all red poinsettias and one with both red and brown leaves. Let me know in the comments below which one you prefer. Thanks for joining me today. Love you guys, and I'll see you next time.